Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
Find the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, education, and parody. Under this act, fair use is permitted use of copyrighted content that might otherwise infringe on the exclusive rights of copyright holders. The TezDown podcast is a platform for entertainment and education. Edutainment, a blend of education and entertainment, emphasizes content that informs while it entertains. The views expressed in this channel's commentary do not necessarily reflect or represent the views of the hosts, and may not always reflect complete or verified accuracy of information presented. All content, including commentary, analysis, and discussion, falls within the legal parameters of fair use. We make no claims to ownership of any third-party content. This is the TezDown. Sports unscripted, culture unfiltered. Thank you for understanding. Welcome to the TezDown. It is Tuesday afternoon. It's good to see you guys. We got a show planned for you today. It's going to be a good one. It's not going to be as long as usual. I got some stuff to do today, but y'all going to have to just, enjoy it. And I'm going to try to run through some things that we could possibly get through with. I do want you guys to pay attention to some of these news articles today. I really do. This is some rough business that we're dealing with. Mexico is on fire. We'll talk about that for a little bit. We're going to talk about Sharon more, and then we're going to talk about AI and how ethical it is. So let's start off on a light note. We're going to start off on a light note with the thing that's going on down there, and let's just go from the top. So let's get into our news.
Most powerful drug lord.
We learned this morning dozens of Mexican National Guard members were also killed. Eyewitness News reporter David Gonzalez is live in our newsroom with the latest on this. David.
Good morning. Mexico's president is urging people to remain calm after violence exploded in parts of the country yesterday. People were asked to shelter in place. Now some U.S. citizens are stuck in Mexico waiting to come home. Chaos erupts in parts of Mexico after one of the world's most wanted drug lords is killed. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, also known as El Mencho, died in a shootout with the Mexican military as they tried to capture him near Puerto Vallarta. New video posted online and verified by ABC News shows the military operation against El Mencho. Gunshots or explosions and helicopters can be heard near a wooded area next to a cabin complex where the cartel leader was hiding out. Jalisco New Generation cartel.
You got to think they had all types of ways to find this guy. And this guy was hiding for quite a while. I will say this. Allegedly, as you guys already got my disclaimer, allegedly, they shut down airspace in Texas a couple of days ago because they had a drone that was not theirs. What was really happening, in my opinion, is they shut down the border so they could get a drone over there so they could find this guy. But we'll let you speculate as to why later on. Let's just listen to it and see what's going on.
Members responded by blocking roads and setting vehicles on fire. President Claudia Sheinbaum says 25 National Guard members were killed in attacks in the state of Jalisco. But Mexican authorities promise peace and security. Today, President Sheinbaum says more than 250 cartel roadblocks across 20 states have been cleared. She added there is greater calm as things go back to normal. Americans are being told to avoid travel until it is deemed safe.
you could see the fear in people's eyes. I mean, they were very, very, very concerned.
We're all just under the shelter in place, told not to go anywhere, lock your doors, stay inside.
The U.S. assisted in the operation by providing information and intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
but the attempted capture of El Mencho was carried out by Mexican forces. And Mexican authorities say more than 30 cartel members were killed in this attack. Another 70 also have been arrested across the country. Live in the newsroom, David Gonzalez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Well, yeah, I mean, as you can see, there's a lot going on there, a lot of destabilization going on, and they do have military grade weapons. So people are like, where'd they get those weapons from? Where do you think they got them from? Where do you think they got them from? I'm not gonna have to even try to speculate about that. You could do a search yourself. Where do you think they're getting military grade weapons from? There's only one place you can get them from. We lose stuff all the time. It's up to you guys to think about it, though. I think sometimes when one hand washes the other, if you know what I'm saying. Um, more power to the people that are trying to get out of Mexico, and more power to the people that are trying to stabilize it. I hope that the people do as what they say and stay inside the house. Like, if you're not one of those people that wants to fight, stay in the house. That's the best thing you could do. Stay in your house if you don't want to fight. Because the rest of us, something happens to our neighborhood, the rest of us are on this type of action. They won't care. Not doing that in my neighborhood. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. Y'all want to do whatever you want to do it in your neighborhoods, not mine. Take care of business over here. All right, we're going to move on to the next thing. So I want to start the show for today because, like I said, I don't have a lot of time. So news is going to be where it's at. It's a developing story. There's a lot that we could say, but it's pretty cut and dry. So the U.S. helped the Mexican government take out a cartel member. They blew up some boats in the process. We didn't talk about that too much. Now the cartel's retaliating on the country. It's kind of how things go there. That's just how it is. And so if y'all don't understand why it's like that, maybe you should do a little bit of brushing up on it. But as for right now, where'd I put that? I had a asset right here that I wanted to. I'll just do another one. You know what? That's the beauty of being live. I could do it right now. We're gonna talk about ethics, okay? I'm not gonna lead you guys into it. You guys make up your mind on what you think about this. But we're gonna play this video, and then if you're somebody, tell me what you think if it happened to you. Yeah, if this happened to you, how would you feel?
Just imagine one day you thinking you look nice, you feeling yourself, you think you look good. You decide to take a picture and you post it on social media. And you have men on the internet that would never speak to you in person, won't even DM you, scared to even comment. They decide to take your picture and take it to this random person and say, you know what? Remove that dress and put her in a bikini. Matter of fact, forget that. Put the yellow bikini on her and add baby oil. Yeah. You know what? I got one even better. Put some donut glaze on her. No. That's not enough. You know what? Put her in a diaper. What type of freak y'all dudes be on? And these be the same dudes that don't understand when women say they are not protected. Because I guarantee there's not women that's doing it to other women. Now, y'all can say what y'all want about women who quote unquote over-sexualize themselves, but that's not what she posted, though. That's not what she did. So they let you know, even when a woman is not sexualizing herself, there's men who still gonna do it. And there's gonna be men in the comments that make it seem like, oh, I do protect women. No, y'all don't. No, y'all don't. Y'all, I guarantee y'all liking these video pictures and you got your own request in. But what's stopping people like this from doing this to any other woman? Whether it's your mama, your sister, your daughter, when she gets to a certain age, if she's not already at that age. What's stopping them from doing the same thing? This should not be legal anywhere. Now, I see if they do it themselves, but the fact that y'all doing it to them, boy, but women just be talking. They are always protected in all shapes and forms. Y'all take the be cool.
Let's fix this feedback right now. There we go. We told you to get that fixed. Y'all, what do y'all think what do y'all think about this? So there are people that are misusing this AI, and that's why we titled it AI ethics. There are people that are misusing the AI to make it do nasty stuff. Now y'all knew that this was going to happen. You know, I knew this was going to happen. I don't know how y'all didn't know that this was going to happen, but I knew this was going to happen. So let's check in with y'all real quick though. How y'all doing today? Let's go ahead and get us a little, a little something, something. Y'all, should we get us a little something, something? Y'all want to get a little something, something? I think so. I think we should. Let's just get us into like, how about this guy right here? Yeah, there we go. Nice little something, something. All right, so we got Conversation with Soft Rain is in the building. What's up, Conversation with Soft Rain? Nice to see you here bright and early. What's up, Roxy? How you doing? Classics in the building. What's up, Classic? Well, Roxy said that's crazy work. Yeah, it is. It is. Joe Jet said, wrong era to complain about women not being protected because they are being sexualized. You think so, Joe Jet? I mean, this era is something wild. You know what I mean? Like, what they're asking Grok to do. This is on Twitter, X platform. What they're asking Grok to do seems to be the same type of thing that people are doing to themselves anyway. Now, I would pull this up and show you on Twitter what's on there. I would pull it up right now, except for if you guys haven't been on Twitter in a long time, it's kind of the Wild West as far as things go on Twitter. You can kind of post whatever you want, whenever you want. I'm not telling you to go and do it. I'm just saying that's what's happening there. So I can't show that because I would definitely get channel strike on my channel. And so I'm not trying to get a new strike right away. I'm not going to do that. What up, Sko? Sko was in the building, but there's a couple of things that I do want to address for accuracy. Like I said, this is not about my opinion. This is about the truth. There are people, other women on X or whatever, that will tell X or Grok to do exactly that. And there are some of them that are doing it to monetize themselves, if you know what I'm saying, without saying it. You know, there's platforms for that, and they do that as well. So I don't know what he's talking about saying that another woman doesn't do this when over half the women on Twitter are doing it. The ones that are a part of that industry, if you know what I'm saying, they're all doing that. Okay. And so these guys are consuming that stuff all day long, with or without wanting to, because even if you don't follow any of that stuff, it still pops up on Twitter. That's why I don't go on Twitter. And so the reason I'm not pulling it up right now. I don't know, man. This is a morally gray area, right? How does he know a woman did do this? That's exactly what I'm saying. Because if you go on there, which I'm not telling you to, but if you go on there, there are plenty of women doing it. She said you got feedback. Tez, is it still there, Rain? Do I still have feedback right now? Do I still have it right now? Okay, she said never mind. It's good. It's good. All right, cool. Yeah, I had to fix that. You know, I can't be on either side, right? I think that people that are making nasty videos of other people without their permission are weird anyway. But if you're asking to do stuff like that, you're doing it in public on a platform like that, then you're a weirdo. So what am I supposed to do about the weirdos? I don't run the platforms, so I don't know how I'm supposed to police that. You know, I'm not on the platforms. I'm not running the platforms. How am I supposed to police the nasty stuff that they're doing? Are you trying to tell Grok what to do? AKA Elon Musk's company? Are you trying to tell them what to do? Or are you saying that AI needs to go away in general? I don't know. I couldn't really. Let's watch it again and see.
Just imagine one day you thinking you look nice, you feeling yourself, you think you look good. You decide to take a picture and you post it on social media. And you have men on the internet that would never speak to you in person, won't even DM you, scared to even comment. They decide to take your picture and take it to this random person and say, you know what? Remove that dress and put her in a bikini. Matter of fact, forget that. Put the yellow bikini on her and add baby oil. Yeah. You know what? I got one even better. Put some donut glaze on her. No. That's not enough. You know what? Put her in a diaper. What type of freak y'all dudes be on? And these be the same dudes that don't understand when women say they are not protected. Because I guarantee there's not women that's doing it to other women. Now y'all.
So that's a really good one. Okay, are women being protected on the internet? Are they? I mean, I'm not sure that I believe that they're not, but at the same time, they have a whole lot of disclaimers and releases that you have to basically agree to, terms and conditions, by being on these websites. And if something like this is a thing and you guys know it's a thing and you want to avoid it, it looks like the only way to avoid it is to not agree to be on the websites at all. Does that upset somebody that if I was to say, well, if they're doing this on Twitter, delete your Twitter account and don't be on Twitter? Am I victim blaming? I don't think so. I think I'm using common sense in an age where these things are inevitable. I don't think you can stop a freak from being a freak. I don't. I don't think that you can stop a perv from being a perv or a PDF from being a PDF file. I don't think you can stop them from doing it unless you stop them, if you know what I'm saying. There's put her in a diaper is weird. Put some glazed donuts on her. That's weird. Drip her in syrup and oil, baby oil. It's really weird that you would do something like this. But at the same time, why are you on a website like that? Now, here's the more compound problem. They have independent sites, whereas if you post anything, someone's going to take it and they're going to do something to it. This sounds more like you're saying no AI at all and not regulate people by doing it. AI is going to do what you tell it to for now. And it's kind of, I hate to say it, it's kind of unstoppable. If you don't believe me, we're going to watch a video that doesn't really exist. Now, we're going to keep talking about this video, but we're going to watch a video that doesn't exist. You guys tell me what you think about this. It's Tom Cruise versus Brad Pitt.
You killed Jeffrey Epstein, you animal! He was a good man! He knew too much about our Russia operations. He had to die, and now you die too.
This video was made using a Chinese app and a Chinese AI app, and the new version that just came out last week. And this is what we get. Hollywood's pissed off about this. Regular people are pissed off about this. The artists are pissed off about this. The actors are definitely pissed off about this, because what this is saying, this is a private creator, somebody that doesn't have any access to them to put the stuff all over them, to get all of their nooks and crannies and everything. And it's still a pretty believable video. If you ask me, I'm not being obtuse here. It's still a pretty believable video. So the reason why I titled this AI Ethics is because at what point do you give up the right to how you look, to what you wear, to what you say, and how people are viewing it? At what point is it no longer just content? Is there money to be made? I mean, this is astounding, right? We got some opinions in there. So get those likes up. Tristan said, it's right, especially on the internet. Classic said, I actually love AI becoming so accurate because it will force people to believe what they can see outside again. Yeah, you see, there's so many things that people would rather view through what they call the black mirror, the television, the phone, the computer. People aren't going outside like that. No, they're not. And they're not believing what they're out doing outside. You know, that you never used to see a football game where even if the team was bad, that the stadium wasn't full of fans. You never used to see that. If there was a game, people would go. I don't see the T-ball games and the high school, middle school games. I don't see all those games full of people anymore. I did go back to my high school last year to watch a game. I wanted to watch the alumni / the homecoming game. I don't do this very often. I don't think I've done it once in the last 10 years. And so I wanted to go watch a football game. There's no football on. There's no NFL games on. It was a Friday night. I went over there to go watch them play. And the band wasn't even in uniform, right? The band wasn't in uniform. There was no halftime show from the band. They weren't sitting on the sidelines where they normally sit at. They were on the visitor's side in a section that was pretty empty, goofing off. When band was so serious when I was in school. It was really weird for me to sit there and say, wow, these people are not engaged in the game. The players don't even look like they're interested in playing. Like, we took this deadly serious when we were out there. Players didn't look like they're interested in playing. Like, both teams ran a total of like 4 different plays. Both teams, 4 different plays, man. Now, mind you, there's variations to playing, especially in high school ball, but like, it wasn't as intricate. And I'm not just saying that because I played at, all the higher levels. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that watching the game was different. My brain remembers the games. My brain remembers the playbooks. My brain remembers the games, and I'm like, we had 200 more plays in our arsenal that we could have used. We had 5 or 6 more looks on defense. We had way more looks on offense. We had that. They didn't, not the night. And I watch every game the same. It does not matter if I'm watching Pee Wee football or I'm watching people play in the NFL. It does not matter. Every game I'm viewing it under the same lens of how is the game being coached? How are the fundamentals being played? And how are the players executing those things? And how did the coaches prepare the players to execute those things? All those are important. All of them. Mechanics, motion, all of that. It's all important when it comes to being precise in a sport. Wasn't seeing it at the games. People do need to go outside more. People need to go and witness nature in spectacle, in sport. People need those things. I'm a big video game player. I love it. I don't have as much time as I used to have to play them, though. So I don't necessarily get games that are super fully immersive the way that I used to. But that's also because I'm outside. I'm running. I'm working out. I'm walking the dog. I'm hitting the heavy bag. I'm doing things in public. I'm messing with my cars. Or I'm working. Well, a couple weekends ago, I was doing a live show with the rest of the RSC. Got to see people there too. Even if I didn't talk to everybody, I talked to everybody. It was an in-person experience, and it feels different. It feels good. And that's one thing that I will say is that he's not wrong. AI being better means people want to see and experience the real more. Now, there are some people who are going to give in, especially if AI gets a real body. There are plenty of people who are going to give in then. We understand and we know. They're giving in with AI not having a real body. Make your mind up. What are the ethics? Tristan said, seems like I can make a movie and not spend too much. It seems like you can make a movie and not spend more than $50 a month. It looks real. There's some minor things, but very minor.
You killed Jeffrey Epstein, you animal! He was a good man! He knew too much about our Russia operations. He had to die, and now you die too.
It's crazy. It's crazy. What's up, Cass? How you doing? Cassie in the building, y'all. On this side, the technology seems to be wonderful, but at what cost? And we've talked about that in one of our previous videos. If you guys want to go back and watch the AI video that I did, a fully immersive 2.5 hour video on AI and different types of AI and what it's being used for. And you guys should go back and watch that. So this is just giving you guys an ethics update. If you're just getting here, how would you feel? Ladies in the chat, men in the chat, how would you feel if you posted a picture and then somebody made Grok put a diaper on you? How would that make you feel? Would you feel like you were at fault there, or that somebody wasn't protecting you? That's really the question that I have. I'm gonna see what the chat got going on. Who would hate it? How would you feel, Classic, if somebody put a diaper on you? Roxy, Tristan, Cassie, Rain. If somebody put a diaper on you, how would it make you feel? Me personally, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I kind of don't care at all. I kind of don't. It says more about you if you're doing weird stuff with my pictures than it says about me. Well, someone could believe this. Well, they could also be very stupid. They could be. Classic said, I don't care. I can't do nothing about that. It ain't me. Rain said, don't put a diaper on her. I kind of don't care either. I mean, what am I going to do about it? They said worse things about me than somebody putting a diaper on me. And people believe that stuff, right? People believe stuff about me that wasn't true with no pictures, with no video, with no audio, with nothing. Nothing but somebody else's imagination. Somebody believed it about me. And that's the truth. So why should I care so much about that per se? Now, I do understand women feeling violated because there's a not real nude picture of them on the internet, or diaper or bathing suit with gravy all over you, or you playing in the chicken coop, whatever. I get it. It sucks real bad, and it's really disgusting. Arrest them, maybe. Are you asking for them to make more laws? If you're asking for them to make more laws, then lobby for it. There is a way to do so. But if we're talking about people like Elon, he ain't listening. And I don't think they're going to make him listen either. That's just being realistic. He don't care. They've been complaining about this for months on Twitter. He doesn't care. I don't know, man. That's something that is above my line of thinking. It is above it. I can listen to all of the opinions in the world and formulate a new opinion, but I'm not well versed enough on how those laws work. I'm not well versed enough. I do think that if you're a lady and it hurts your feelings, my best advice is to be off of the internet. I know that's very harsh because the internet used to be a great place to be, but maybe this is our warning to get off of the internet. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's also a way for the world to tell us that we take ourselves too seriously. Who cares? It's not really me. Who cares? It's not really me. I will say this though. All of y'all got a really nasty friend that probably fantasizes about you and you don't know about it. The odds are very high. That's just being realistic. If you find out they're that nasty friend, then get rid of them. Or you can have no friends. That too. You can have no friends and not be on the internet. All of these are true. All of them. Yeah, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to give you some opinions. Sko said that it wouldn't matter to him. Sko said it wouldn't matter to him. All right, guys, we got the half-hour mark. I'm gonna give you guys a little stretch break before we get to our last segment. I know it's a short show today, guys, but I'll be giving you guys way more content the rest of the week. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to see me walk some? And you do. No. It's about time for like one of my favorite parts of the show now.
Oh boy! Yes!
Why don't y'all go ahead and give me this wonderful, amazing stretch break. Let's get these. I needed this bad too, so more for me than it is for you. We stay. This last night, so fun and trivia. Come at me. Go. Keep changing the way I felt. Fuck you, too. Black Pearl time, let's go. Yeah, at least 10. 10 more the other way. Can't forget about this. Oh, all right, yeah, that's good enough for today, y'all. All right, guys, let's get into something serious, all right? There are so many different things that happen to people in the world that we live in today. So many. One of them just happens to be people who use your name for clout. So we talked about AI ethics already and people changing your pictures and all that type of stuff. But what if it gets more serious than that? What if now, by somebody else's word of mouth, we can literally take away everything that you worked hard for? How would that make you feel? So let's just say that somebody said that, I don't know, you eat green beans under the bed while your child sleeps. I know that sounds really weird and disjointed and disconnected, but it's a good example of something ridiculous that I can say about you, and people will look at you in a weird way because of the way I said it. What do we do about false accusations? What happens to the person that made the false accusations? Like, you got to think, there's been so many people who have lost everything because somebody falsely accused them of something. How do we take back our collective outrage that we had about this person if we had it? We condemn them in the court of public opinion. We condemn them in the court of the public opinion before they ever saw a real judge. We condemn them so fast and so hard that they lost everything. This is the case that we're speaking about today, and it's Sharon Moore, who was the head coach at Michigan University, and how this case is starting to unravel in a way that not many people predicted. It happened at a time when a lot of people were going through celebrities and powerful people misusing and mismanaging them. I mean, we're still in that time today. Everything that's been going on with the Epstein files, and even that video mentioned it as a way to throw a jab at Hollywood. How many of these things are actually true, though? We've seen with Jonathan Majors, the video comes out, and then you see that, okay, she really was doing this. This man ran down the street to get away from her. He ran from her to get away from her. So this wouldn't happen. There are mistakes that are going to be made, especially when you're under pressure and you're under duress. I do understand foxholes, you know, and what happens when you panic. This is why poise is important. This is why patience is important. This is why having a sound mind is extremely important. Being calm is not the same thing as not going and leaping into action. Being calm is having control of your fight or flight response. Now, your fight or flight response can save you, but more times than not, your body will choose to flight when it should have fought, and it fights when it should have flown. It's the weird dynamic of brain chemistry and psychology. But you can train yourself in many ways to avoid this. It's not just a reaction anymore. It's not just your nature anymore. That's how you get good at things. So in this case, he did make some mistakes, but of course he made some mistakes. This was probably the most traumatic thing he's ever been through. You're about to lose it all. Not a little bit, all of it. And when there's a lot of it to lose and you've gotten comfortable, you've been living a good life, you covered up for other people in many ways. You were the backbone of an entire program to the point of where you earned your job as the head coach. Let's see what this is all about.
Misdirection to the court. So for those reasons,
let's manage our expectations here. Today isn't the final verdict, and no one is going to prison yet. This is a motion for an evidentiary hearing, but don't look away, because the judge just granted a rare Franks hearing after finding what he called a glaring omission by the police. The defense argues
now, let me tell you guys, if you go to court and you're in court for something and they find out that the police arrested you and falsified or didn't give evidence of something, there's only one reason why somebody wouldn't present evidence on you. If that evidence was going to, I don't know, exonerate you. That's the only reason. There are no other reasons behind it. Unless they don't want to incriminate themselves. So either they withhold evidence so they don't incriminate themselves, or they withhold the evidence because this evidence wouldn't incriminate you. So that's what this hearing is all about. This judge saw this and was like, wait, this doesn't make any sense. You guys rushed to get this guy out of there. He lost his job, he lost his money, he lost his wife, lost a guaranteed contract, and got tarnished in public. Well, let's see about this.
Detectives secured a stalking warrant for Michigan coach Sharon Moore by intentionally hiding one simple fact. The alleged victim was Moore's own executive assistant. Those 12 harassing calls the cops used to get the warrant, the defense says they were just business as usual during the high-stress week of the Citrus Bowl. What's more is
the relationship between the parties in a stalking allegation matters. It's not stalking if the communication has a legitimate purpose. As stated in my reply, and as what Your Honor knows, is that under recently published appellate court case in the state of Michigan, it is clear that the relationship between the parties matters. In this case, Detective Welker presented to the magistrate facts to seek an arrest warrant for Sharon Moore on stalking charges and on home invasion with intent to stalk. In the facts that she presented to the magistrate, she left out the information that Sharon Moore was the boss of the complainant. The complainant was the executive assistant to Sharon Moore, who at the time was the head football coach at the University of Michigan. Why does that matter? It matters because the communications that were presented to the magistrate were 12 alleged phone calls that were unanswered. The 12 alleged phone calls were on a work day. The complainant in this case had not taken a leave of absence. She had not left her job. It was working hours, and she was the executive assistant of Sharon Moore. Sharon Moore was never told not to contact her for legitimate purposes. In fact, he was never told not to contact her at all, but that's not what we're here arguing right now. I'm talking about the legitimate purpose. If there are contacts for legitimate purpose, it is not harassment. As I stated a moment ago, the phone calls went unanswered. So there's no evidence as to what the intent of those phone calls were. The complainant confirmed that they were work-related. The one word says, please answer and call when you get a chance. It's my belief that those text messages were also seen as work-related. Those were not part of.
Well, it's your belief, but did she say that, or?
She said to the detective said, was this work-related? And she said, yes, that's work-related. They showed her the whole screenshot, and she said, are these text messages work-related? And the answer was, yes, those are work-related. And then she was asked, are there any more text messages that you haven't given me? And the answer was no. And that's all in the police report.
Okay.
So the reason, again, to connect the dots is that there's acknowledged communication that was work-related during those days. which goes towards the phone calls. She doesn't know if they're work related or not. We don't know if they're work related or not. It's our position they were. It was a work day. There's no evidence to show otherwise. Because the complainant was able to distinguish between communications that were work related. She identified the text as work related. At the time of the swear to.
So again, we have a court and a judge that is now seeing that it was acknowledged. So here's how the problem is. If you present evidence, but you only present part of the evidence, you can incriminate someone. You really can. But if you give them the rest of it, for example, if I asked you in a text message, what do you want today? But you don't respond with, or if it doesn't, you don't show the response that said a turkey sandwich, no mayo, add mustard. And then the next one says you have to pick a different meat. And you don't show that. And you give them a list of 12 to 13 text messages of our correspondence, but not your side. It looks like I'm bothering you. And they rush to arrest over this. And she's proving it.
Detective Welker knew that there was an employee-employment relationship. There's quite a bit of case law where omissions are considered Frank's violations. Heidi Sharp stated that Mr. Moore had a long history of domestic violence against Shiver. Okay. Shiver herself never made those statements. She never gave that information. There is no record of any of that. There is no documentation of any of that. There is no criminal history. There's nothing to support that statement made by Heidi Sharp.
So once again, we as a collective public jump down this man's throat, and all over the stories and the TMZ articles and everything else that came out alleging that this is the thing. He's a violent man. He has that. How did he get a head coaching job at Michigan if that was the case? And none of this came out beforehand. Do you know how hard it is to be the head coach, especially a black head coach of that kind of college? So again, we have someone that's being wrongly accused, and it spreads like wildfire, and people base it in the court of public opinion that this person is like this because this person said they were, with zero evidence to prove it. And they roasted this man all over the internet. They roasted this man all over the news. They roasted this man everywhere, all the newspapers and the tabloids. You couldn't go to the grocery store without seeing something about it. My YouTube algorithm had him in it all day for 2 weeks straight. His arrest, the way how he looked disheveled in court, all of these things. Well, I guess if you were being wrongly accused, you would look disheveled too. You would be emotional too. You would have people that are looking at you like you're crazy, and you're trying to say, how can they possibly see me like this? I've never done anything in my entire life. People say things about people that aren't true to get the result that they want. Of course, there was going to be a lawsuit in there. They were going to sue the college for damages because it's their coach. So not only are you going to be able to hit his estate, you can hit the college too. You can hit the college too. And just in case you're new and you're just now getting here and you think that that I have some obligation to tell you every little thing about every little thing. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, education, and parody. Under this act, fair use is permitted use of copyrighted content that might otherwise infringe on the exclusive rights of copyright holders. The TezDown podcast is a platform for entertainment and education. Edutainment, a blend of education and entertainment, emphasizes content that informs while it entertains. The views expressed in this channel's commentary do not necessarily reflect or represent the views of the hosts, and may not always reflect complete or verified accuracy of information presented. All content, including commentary, analysis, and discussion, falls within the legal parameters of fair use. We make no claims to ownership of any third-party content. This is the TezDown. Sports unscripted, culture unfiltered. Thank you for understanding. So it's like, I don't have to play the rest of this, but you guys get the picture, right? This goes on for another about 20 minutes. And I just got to say, like, it's appalling to me that this is what's happening and that this continues to happen. So let me tell you, when there is a victim of something, so let's just put this in layman's terms, and I'll say this the best way that I can. I have to say it. If you are a regular person, you're not a celebrity. You're not a celebrity coach. You're not a high profile person. You're not the CEO of some company or even high up in there. You know, you're not actress and actor, or even let's just say a YouTube personality. And unless you're one of those people, you might not understand why the regular people who are everyday workers who are not famous or anything on the internet would have somebody do this and then they get the same type of punishment. They jump to it and they don't look, or why you can't get justice. It's because of these big high profile cases. They continue to come back where the people are disingenuous with everything that they've done, and it costs somebody their life or livelihood or everything. And there's people in the public opinion that are still saying, no, he's guilty. I know he's got to be. There's still people who are saying that. That's not cool. There's nothing cool about that. Kyron Lacey is no longer with us because of somebody of them running to arrest somebody. That was a young man that had a bright future ahead of him, and he took himself out the game permanently because of false accusations. Stop making false accusations. I know it sucks. I wish that we could do more for the people. I wish we could do more for the people who legitimately got hurt by somebody. I really do wish that we could. But it's really hard because all of these people that are doing it erroneously and falsely, making false accusations and having people lose everything, disproportionately to black men especially, it makes it hard for anybody to get taken care of when they actually did something. Ray said he gonna run a crossing route on you, classic. So I mean, I ain't got too much more for you guys when it comes down to that. I really just wish that in the world that we lived in today.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid? Why aren't more people intelligent like me?
That's what I wish. I'll have more for you guys. Maybe tonight. Maybe tonight. It is a nice Tuesday night. Maybe I'll do a review of some interesting content that you might. You know what? Maybe I'll do a bedroom talk tonight. You never. Who knows? You know, I didn't review the Red Room for Classic in the last 2 weeks, so maybe I'll do another one of those tonight. We'll see how I feel. We'll see how I feel. We'll see what's going on. In the meantime, we got more content coming up from the constituents of the RSC and our people. I ain't gonna play the video today, y'all. Y'all done seen that video. Y'all can see it again. I'm gonna make y'all ask me for it next time. There we go. Make sure you guys take a screenshot of this. We need to get these subs up on a lot of them. And so if you guys don't understand how the content creation works, and you know, the nice presentation that you guys see, that's not free. That's not free. And instead of asking you guys for money, I say do the free stuff. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it out to people. Subscribe to all of these channels because it boosts everything and it boosts the algorithm. And that means more random people get to come up and see the content that you guys frequent every single day. So if you guys think we're cool, like us, share us, tell us about your friends, join our Discord, which is there, the Raw Society Coalition Discord server. I'm going to place that link inside the chat as well. That's where you guys are going to get more, I don't want to say uncensored content because that has a completely disgusting negative connotation today in today's society, as you can see where we're at. But that's where you guys are going to get straight opinions and not YouTube speak. You heard me earlier. There's a way that you have to speak when you're on YouTube so they don't flag your videos and do things to them. You know, it's kind of abhorrent to me and I don't really like it. And it kind of infects my daily life because I spend so much time talking to you guys. But it's something that has to happen, and you don't have to do that on Discord or some of the other servers. You know, they're not going to get any nasty content over there. So if you're one of those little freakos that just found us right now, you're not getting none of that. Nope. That is not what we do. But you will get uncensored opinions. And I think that's what you guys care about more often is the more uncensored opinion. So go on there, make that big. Like and subscribe to the other channels. Watch some of the old videos. I do have that old video that you guys were talking about the other earlier. And if you guys wanted to get a deeper dive into what I talked about when I talked about AI, I'm going to go and give it to you right now. And I'm going to post a link to it in here So if you guys want to check that out, you actually can. And I would appreciate that too. I thought that was one of the excellent videos that was throttled down by YouTube. It was definitely throttled down, and you guys definitely missed it, but it was real good. And you'll be able to interact with that one and get your opinions on that too. But without further ado, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, sorry about the short stream today. I do like talking to you guys longer, but I figured I'd give you something rather than give you nothing. And that's just who I am today. I'm generous. I'm the Tez. This is the TezDown, and I'll see you guys maybe in less than 24.
I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time.